Just in time for the new year, we have indeed one of the most fortunate and lucky full moons of 2026. On January 3rd, we have a moon that can only happen once every 12 years that is going to be full in Cancer, co-joined with benefic and exalted Jupiter. Add to that the star Sirius, the dog star, is here, one of the most spiritual and auspicious stars of the heavens. I can't say enough about how much this moon should bring something positive into each of our lives. January 3rd, add maybe 3 to 4 weeks for it to unfold. This is a bright spot in a very challenging sky of late, and I hope you guys are ready for a breath of fresh air. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lori Lillian, and today we're going to break down this full moon for your sign, and you can listen for your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign. All three will be useful. Sun sign, career and purpose related matters. Moon sign, matters to do with home and nest and safety and emotions. And of course, a rising sign is your simulation avatar in this matrix that we live in. Therefore, it's very sensitive to world events and changes in your life as a result. So we're going to go through your sign today. We're going to talk about how positive this can be. When I talk about this moon only doing this kind of happy Jupiter story once every 12 years, that's because we need Jupiter in Cancer, which the last time he was here was June of 2013 to July of 2014. And before that, you have to time travel all the way back to July of 2001 to August of 2002. So it's kind of a story where having Jupiter co-join the lunation, well, it's full. And also, by the way, reflecting a beautiful asteroid called Quaoar, where the sun is co-joined, is extraordinarily auspicious. And this star that we're talking about, the dog star Sirius, Sirius, and I'll show you the chart. This is also the star that is co-joined the sun of the United States of America. And that was planned by the founders of the USA. It's not an accident. So this is all a part of the simulation that we're in, that people plan things like this. In fact, founding US fathers were indeed Masons or occultists, and they knew their astrology. So let's break into it. So you can work with this lunation. I'm going to give you my advice. I'm going to give you my astrological wisdom. I may or may not draw an oracle card. It's such a spiritual star. I mean, it's meant to be like a very deep, alchemical, magical, worldly success star. Maybe something from Spirit, Oracle, just a quick draw to go with the astrology if I think we are going to have time today. I'm dropping this video, I believe, on a Sunday, give me some times, guys. I think this video is going to be coming out on Sunday, the Lord Almighty, 28th of December. Please give it a like, subscribe, and share with family. It's been a tough roll for me going through December. Very, very low subs. Not the only channel suffering from that. I think people are overwhelmed. The news stories are horrendous that the world's dealing with. Plus, it's Christmas season or holiday season or whatever you celebrate, and people are just busy. But give me some love, hit the like button and subscribe. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll know when I put out content and you don't have to depend on the algorithm to show it to you. Now, I have a members only community I'm building here. Check it out. There's a join button. See if you want to be in some of my live streams and my teaching content that I put out there. And I talk about things I can't talk about here without getting demonetized. You know, YouTube put out a new whole demonetization list. It's like crazy vague. It's like, is this a sensitive topic? Is this about hate speech? I mean, hate speech can be these days anything that someone doesn't agree with that you say is okay. So the way that YouTube's rolling, it's getting more and more difficult to speak freely here without being demonetized or deplatformed. So don't forget, you can find more of my off-top, unplugged energy, either in the members' private community or possibly over at Substack, where I write the Pluto Chronicles, and you can subscribe for free. Finally, if you didn't get my 2026 individual signs or all signs bundles are still for sale, and it's $55 for 12 videos, 2+ hours long. You can download them, you can watch them, you can just download the audio. Lots of ways to use that material, share with friends and family, listen for sun, moon, and rising, or just get your individual sign for $22. All that information to time your best life in 26. My fundraising videos are in the description box below. All right, so guys, I really like this moon. I'm not just hyping it for, a thumbnail that everyone's going to click on. I do find that even though Jupiter's retrograde, he's still Jupiter, and he is talking directly to this lunation, on top of which we have this beautiful star in the midst of it all. So there's probably no way that I think that this is a difficult story. So I do feel, however, because that Jupiter is delayed, and I'm going to show you the sky, it could indicate that things that happen now may be delayed or contrary to the motion of the heavens. So the expectation of what goodness is coming to you, Jupiter, wealth, prosperity, abundance, goodness, fertility, family, children, education, truth, justice, hope, faith, and optimism. All of that is available on this moon. And it's full, but Jupiter's retrograde. So there may be a kind of delay in the production of the goodie bag and the ho, 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 Jupiter Santa Claus. However, Jupiter also in this particular condition, right, has got 6 months to deliver the goods. Why 6 months? Everyone goes, oh, but the moon's on January 3rd. Yes, but the moons are connected to other lunation cycles, new full, new full. So there's a sense that the full unfoldment of the story can take place over 6 months, not just a few days. With the caveat, my experience is I notice what is happening. Like I said, oh my God, that new moon did this or that full moon did that. I'll see the kind of what's being delivered by the moon by 2 to 3, even 4 weeks maximum outside the actual lunation. So you have to look at the proximate and expect the long term. And finally, you went through moons like this before. Okay, not exactly necessarily on the dog star, but you've gone through Jupiter infused moons back in, 2001, July to August of 2002. There would have been a new and a full moon in those cycles probably. And same thing with June of 2013 to July of 2014. And indeed, yes, we did have a moon. Yes, we did have a moon that was new. So a seed was planted, a new moon occurred back in the month of June, and it would have been June of 2025. And the moon was occurring at 3 degrees or 4 degrees, if I remember correctly, 4 degrees of Cancer. And that moon should have been like so amazing because it was planting the new seed in your whole sign Cancer sky. We're going to talk about this for your sign. That should have now it's coming to fulfillment or fruition. It's interconnected quite often. But that lunation back in June last year also occurred in a very tight square to Saturn and Neptune, who had entered into Aries. And so that Saturn, Neptune, Aries square meant that either it felt like not the greatest lunation in June, or it meant that things that lunation was seeding that we're now going to harvest the fruit of on the full moon have to have a dose of reality, Saturn, like a reality check, and removal of any rose-colored glasses of illusion, delusion, and the ways we are not able to see things realistically. So I'd say that we planted a seed for realism. We're likely to get a better result. Neptune can be the obfuscation, the fog, the confusion, the delusion, the disillusionment as well. But because we planted that seed with that Saturn reality check holding hands with fantastical Neptune, we can also code it as, what seed did you plant in June last year for some kind of vision, a goal or imaginal realm, like a dream that Saturn says, I can help you make it true. And that seed was planted last year, and it's relevant to the Cancer part of your chart, and it's relative to the Aries part of your chart. Those are 2 pie slices that are 90 degrees away from each other in the sky. And because we have Saturn and Neptune both coming back to Aries, and we'll be doing more videos on that, Neptune at 26th of January and Saturn on the 13th, 14th of February, and they join together in a 6,000-year rare 0-degree conjunction in Aries on February 20th. This moon that we're having now may tie into that. Do you see what I'm saying? This moon that's going to fulfill a 6-month rainbow, unicorns, bounty, fulfillment of a dream, goal, or wish may be taking cue from what's coming into place, including Jupiter moving direct on March the 11th. All right, so let me show you the sky. Let's go through your sign. And let's actually pull the chart up, not my messy desktop. All righty. So here's what you're seeing. If you're looking at my screen, oops, make it bigger. What you're seeing is the moon itself at 13 degrees of the sign of Cancer. That is 14 degrees, the dog star Sirius, and that is Jupiter, and that's a conjunction. That's only like 7 degrees 8 degrees from Jupiter, and the moon is allowed a 13-degree orb in ancient tradition. And so there's a nice blend of energies here, and Jupiter's moving backwards toward the moon, right? Because he's retrograde. And I want you to think of it this way. When you go to meet somebody, right? Like say you're going to set up a meeting and you're walking toward each other, you're moving into contact with each other. That's kind of a nice touch. I mean, the moon's not chasing Jupiter. The moon's moving into Jupiter, and Jupiter's moving into the moon. So it's very much a mutual connection as they move toward each other. Hypothetically, I mean, obviously the planets aren't not moving backwards and stuff, but it seems like that's the direction they're going from our own observation here on Earth. So I like the feeling of it's a meetup, you know, they're going to have a meetup here. And one of the things we can consider connected to the ancient tradition is what is the last aspect that the lunation was making with other planets before it decided to have a powwow with Lord Jupiter? What was the last conversation that the moon had? And that last conversation that this lunation was having was with Venus. You can see her right up here. She's invisible. She's going to join the sun on the 6th. We'll be doing a big video about that with a guest astrologer, and it's exciting and it's rare-ish for every 4 years. So having this moon come into Jupiter after having a direct opposition or conversation with Venus is going to bring Venusian energy for Jupiter's and consideration. Do you know what I mean? So now one thing about that is the moon is going to be full on January the 3rd at 13 degrees of the sign of Cancer. So the moon is going to talk to Venus and then become full as it talks to the sun, right? And then as it continues forward, then the moon opposes Mars, right? It's a big powwow of connections here. But there's a Venusian infusion to this lunation that I quite like, as well as the coming into contact head-on style with Jupiter. I like all of that tremendously. It's like the moon says, hi, Venus, hi, Sun, hi, Mars, hi, Jupiter. What a powwow. The dog star Sirius. Let me just bring that up for us here. One of my favorite books, because it's such a powerful star. The United States chose wisely. The Masons knew what they were doing. Fixed Stars in the Chart by Oscar Hofman is a wonderful book. And here's his delineation of the dog star. The heavenly wolf is one of the names of Sirius. It is a dog star in the Canis Major constellation. And it means honor, renown, wealth, and ardor, faithfulness, devotion, passion, and resentment, curators, custodians, guardians, and dangers of dog bites. Now, I don't think it'll be a dog bite unless you get a Cane Corso or a Mastiff, because Jupiter blows the dog up. So stay away from Great Danes and Mastiffs around this time. You never know, you might get a dog bite. But because the moon is joining with the moon, because Jupiter is moving into a conjoinment with the moon is something along the lines of success in business, influential friends of the opposite sex, and of course, the moon's on Sirius, favorable for the father, good health, beneficial changes in your home or your business, because as well, you could also kind of lean into the Jupiter archetype. No, Jupiter is not on the dog star, but Jupiter will be on the dog star in March around the 11th when it backtracks to 15 degrees of Pisces to turn around. So we can add a little Jupiter infusion of business success, journeys, and help from relatives. So you can see how good this energy is. I don't mind it at all, at all. I want you to think back to June. I can't remember the exact date in June. I do apologize, but let's just say early June, most likely, because let me double check the date for you, of the June new moon planted a seed for the full moon that will ripen and harvest and reap its rewards now. Righty, it was June the 25th. June the 25th, Cancer, new moon. You planted a seed then. It kind of rolled out through to mid-July where you felt the seed planting occur. Now you're ripening and harvesting and reaping the results. Also, it's funny, a Sabian symbol at this degree, we always round up from 13 to 14. So 14 degrees of Cancer is a very old man facing dark space, or a very old man facing a vast dark space to the northeast. That's not the Sabian symbol for the United States sun, because the sun is up a little bit, I think, by degree, but I could be wrong. I should double check that. But anyway, all said and done, take it as you will. What man will be facing a dark space connected to the word northeast or something like that? Or how about Washington, D.C. and a very old man? Let's take any old man. Donald Trump, anyone? Dark space, maybe not so good for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's ascendant, like his rising sign for the solar return chart in the year he won the election, is sitting on the dog star Sirius, which means that the sun or the leadership energy of the United States is on his identity from the election year, because June of 24 is his birthday, June 14th. And then you go forward, right, until now. So till this June. So, oh no. Let me get my years right. Oh, yeah, that's already past us. Yeah, oh my God, he had another birthday. So let's not talk about it. But anyway, I don't know. Could be some bad news for Trump's administration or something like that. Now, I am not a MAGA. Somebody said to me in Substack, clearly you're a MAGA. No, I'm a Canadian. And if you guys want to know, I'm not going to do world astrology today. I want to explain something about that, though. I'm a centrist, basically. So I would be in Canada considered, I'd be maybe United States tending towards what you guys call libertarians. I think we shouldn't have too much big government. I think that we should be investing in people's ingenuity, people's entrepreneurial zeitgeist and chutzpah. I don't think that we should have healthcare that's broken in Canada, which it is very broken. And I don't think that we should have a moratorium on a pipeline with gas and oil in our country. I am an environmentalist, but I'm also a realist. And that's one of our major resources. And we're in big trouble right now in Canada because we have depended on the United States for trade pacts, and that's all fallen apart, and our economy's trashing out here. And so I'm conservative only in the sense that I think we should be fiscally conservative as governments and have not spend the people's money willy-nilly and wildly on things that most people don't care about and doesn't serve them. Okay, that's who I am. So I'm a centrist. I'm not liberal and I'm not conservative. Those are our government. That's our parties in Canada. And in the United States, I probably wouldn't be Democrat, nor would I be Republican. So just get with the program, guys. I'm actually really neutral on the actual political spectrum. That said, I have common sense. Today's not going to be world astrology, and there's a simple reason. I'm changing my format in 2026 yet again. No matter which way I can't seem to win. Numbers are down doing world astrology on the front end. Numbers are down not doing world astrology at all. And I thought, you know what? Some people, you guys are just like, it doesn't serve me to put content out before the all signs that everybody doesn't like. And it particularly hampers me in the live premiere format when I'm premiering my videos. So here's my new format for 2000. We're going to do your sign just today, just your sign. For 2026, I'm bringing back What in the World Wednesdays. And I do not think I'm going to pre-record them. I'm going to live stream them. So if you always wanted to join me with a Q&A in a live stream, I don't know what time I'm going to do my premiere, sometime in the afternoon on Wednesdays. What in the World Wednesdays is back. We're talking world astrology for those of you who like it. The rest of you, all these other drops I have, Monday, or week ahead astrology, Sunday and Thursday drops are more oriented towards individual sign guidance. And we'll see if that doesn't please all of the people all of the time. Instead of none of the people, none of the time. Let's go ahead and go back to the sky. And let's talk astrology and your sign. And again, it is an auspicious moon. And I'll bring you the depths of what you might need to know and how to harness this very lucky, yes, truly luckiest moon of 2000 or most fortunate moon of 2026 by far. Jupiter is exalted. He's got superpowers here. He loves home and homeland and protection of homeland. And he's nationalistic or patriotic at times. And he wants to make a lot of things happen. Like, let's be fertile. Let's make babies. Let's have families. Let's have big families. And on and on and on we go. Elon Musk has thousands of children. He's got Jupiter in his house of children, and he's a Cancer rising. Jupiter exalts him. Now, there's a thing about abundance, fertility, excess as well. And exaltation can bring excess sometimes. But the moon is here to temper Jupiter and make him act a little bit less gnarly, because moon is in her temple and she is happy in her kingdom, and she's putting a leash on any excesses that Jupiter may try to create. I don't think we do not mind this. This is very good energy. The moon tells Jupiter to not overdo it. So good news. And he's retrograde, where he's likely to bring inner bounty and inner rewards as much as external rewards, especially through till March 11th, when he goes into direct motion at 15 degrees or so of Cancer. Because we have Quaoar here, I'd be also remiss if I didn't talk about how I like Quaoar here. I don't use Quaoar a lot, but Quaoar is important as a trans-neptunian body that is literally directly across from the moon and co-join with Venus and Sun. And why I like it, because metaphorically speaking, the moon is reflecting the light of the sun. right? That's bound up with it's wedged between a Jupiter-Venus conjunction getting ready to happen on January the 8th, but also is connected to Quaoar. Quaoar is metaphorically being reflected by the moon, and the asteroid delineation is such that I'm giving it to you now. Oh, I don't know what you guys are looking at. Probably my messy desktop. Sorry about that. Let's take it all out of the way and make you see my back end. Quaoar is a creation god of the Tongva people, the creation of a new system without precedent, being creative and making new rules, building new structures, rather than simply following what already exists. So we have a sense then that this moon wants to reflect the ability of us all to create a system without precedent, to do something in a creative way, break the rules, do it differently, build structures and things in life that no one has ever seen before. Do not follow the rote rules of what already exists. It's like when you try to put a piece of furniture together and you're trying to follow the rules, like an IKEA piece. Why follow the rules? Why not try to break the rules and tape it together with duct tape? You know, sometimes that might just be easier. So that's what I got for you on the Quaoar story. Let's go ahead and let's do each sign. And wow, I really do not like this new interface of Zoom with my MacBook Pro and its software. I always complain about it. Aries, 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 sun, moon, and rising sign. Big, beautiful, full moon, full of bounty and luck and prosperity in the fourth house of home, land, property, and real estate. Holy man, not too shabby. It could open up doors of bounteous new home life where you could move or live in a new home because of this gorgeous, beautiful energy. And because we still have eclipses through to midsummer next year and the nodes moving through houses 6 and 12, a bounteous new home in a foreign land, distant shore, or even in bounteous and successful rental property. Also, because this is a lunation that's telling Jupiter what to do, it may be about children. Jupiter can be more children in the family. What do I mean? Well, you could have more children at home because you're going to get pregnant or your partner, or you could also be looking at grandparenthood because Jupiter rules your ninth house, your grandkids. So more bounteous children in the home, but not a brood, maybe 1 or 2 children. And the reason I'm saying that is because Jupiter is being tethered by the moon not to go to excess. So no triplets for sure. Maybe some new pets in the home and maybe a big pet, and especially because the eclipses still are activating the 6th house, which is pets. So more pets are coming in, more animals, more babies, more grandkids, but also bounteous, larger, bigger, expansive, prosperous, wealthy, luxurious home coming your way, courtesy of a full moon. It could last 6 months before you finally see it. And one thing I'd say is because this new moon was forming as a seed that was planted on June 26th, how did the word home or fertility or children play out for you? I'm a Cancer moon, I'm a Cancer sun. I literally moved into the home you're seeing me record from. In fact, I didn't move in. I moved my furniture in June, and I actually moved in fully in July. It tethers me to this particular apartment with the sirens. But it could be that the step that comes after it is yet a bigger, better, and more fancier home than the one I moved into because I'm allowed to leave June the 1st and find a different home. And that ties into the 6 months after the eclipse. I might rehome myself. There's just an example for you to compare your life. Okay. So don't tell me so much about your life. No, because I can tell you how it can work for you too. And I do want to mention that you have this sort of Venusian Quaoar activation here, right? And you want to make your dreams real. You want to concretize realistic outcomes because of that Saturn Neptune conjunction last time this happened and coming back again this spring in Aries. And so this part of the sky is about your career. Venus is saying, okay, the moon talks to Venus and Jupiter says, wealth up. How can you wealth up your career, your reputation, your celebrity, your popular appeal in the public eye or in the high noon of the sky? How can you be more successful in a way that you're enjoying it, but it's also resourceful and wealth building, Venus and Capricorn. So you're looking some shifts over the months that follow this moon. Look for evidence in the first month. You're looking for shifts that look like refining your ability to be prosperous and wealthy and make money over time, which is Venus's priority, and also to enjoy the work you're doing. And so there's going to be some changes this moon can help bring about. Quote, how can you create a new work system in a way that's never been done before? You've never even thought about it before. You've never even considered this possibility. Or if you have, you thought, I can't do that. It goes against the rules. If I do my career and my reputation that way, it's going to go backwards on me. And, I'll be laughed off the face of the planet or some weird thing like that. So think outside the box, be willing to make something new and fresh in your career that you haven't seen other people do before. Okay. It is okay to break free and break through. And I got a little message for you from the Oracle of the Spirit. When your inner light, Aries, shines, when you are at peace with yourself and the world around you, that's when your inner light will shine. So don't forget, Venus is like, I'm up here, everyone, look at me, like very celebrity-like, or very, give me some love in the public sphere. With the sun, let go of the struggle and feel the beauty inside of you, and allow all to just be, and just be you. Just be you. What if in your career you just be you? Okay. I had a friend who had a brand for a few years called Be Who You Are. Just be who you are. Get over this chironic wound down here in your identity field. Make some dreams come true. We're going to move on to Taurus, and you can watch me do a bad job of moving on to Taurus. You'll see why in a minute, because I have to take it off of, I think I pinned this to Aries, which I have to fix. Okay. 0 Aries. Yeah. So we're going to take it back down to whole sign. Whole sign. Yeah, don't forget, oh my God, my messy desktop. Do not forget to try me out on like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And please consider checking out my membership here, or coming to join me on any of my other platforms. But my membership here is turning out to be a lot of fun, and people are giving me great feedback on the join button on YouTube. Yeah, okay. No worries. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. So the most blessed moon of 2026 is occurring on January the 3rd. It's going to be down in the bottom of the sky at 13 degrees of the sign of Cancer. And it's going to bring something into our lives, each of us individually, that's going to be fruiting and fulfilling the seed you planted at the last week of June last year. And you might have been feeling through to mid-July that you were going in some new direction to do with your third house. Now, in the intro, I told you can only get this kind of moon every 12 years. I hope you watched the intro. So this kind of planting of a seed in the third house is to say, do you want to make a fruitful, bounteous business idea take off and succeed? This kind of business would be like Airbnb or restaurants, or something to nurture people, or, to provide comfort to people. Online or real life, brick and mortar, either one. Or are you looking to fulfill a seed planting you were attempting in June for a change of location where you live? Quite often a moon here can rehome you and try to rehome you to a new neighborhood or a new city in your country, likely to stay domestic, but it doesn't always have to be that way, especially with a stellium in the house of foreign lands. There may be a significant rehoming going on here for you, and that may fulfill itself within 6 months. But look for evidence of that in the 1 month that follows. This is really good for writers. Jupiter and the moon together is a writer's dream signature. So if you're a writer at all, or you want to be writing something, yay you. It's great for starting a podcast, publishing, writing, communicating, marketing, selling industries. And this is going to bring you wealth and success over the next few months. If you're looking for work, look no further than the things I just mentioned for great success to open doors for you in those types of environments that I'm describing. You have siblings down here, particularly it's a sibling one younger than you, but siblings in general are down here, indicating some bounteous luck for that sibling or from that sibling may be coming through. Or from friends you knew in high school and grade school, elementary school, may also be providing bounteous goodness in your life at this time, not just on the January 3rd moon, but over the weeks and months that follow, even to the point where you could get a loan or a gift or some kind of financial abundance from somebody that you would consider a friend in the local environment, or from your childhood ages as well. Also, I had to plug myself in. There's a kind of a vibe here where opposite this Venus, Venus is all about what we love, what brings us pleasure, what brings us joy. She's kind of looking across at the moon as well, who talks to her just before the moon becomes full. So you might have some collateral benefits in the following areas of job opportunities, work opportunities. Okay. She rules your sixth house. And so it's a good time for you to take this lunation and apply for jobs. I would say go back to see what you were doing in late June into mid-July regarding work, jobs, and career, and what things were going on in those themes. Because if you were like applying for a job or thinking of changing your job, I'm thinking you're going to have something very positive happen at this time, really, really, really positive. And I think someone just came into my waiting room, and believe me, not that I think I'm teaching anything at this time. Not that I have anything on my calendar unless I'm on the wrong day. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, I'm going to just address that situation. I'm going to see what's going on back there. Hang on a sec. I'll just pause the recording while I take someone out of my waiting room. I'm back. Back to me. I don't know, guys. I have a hard time. Sorry, organizing my reality. I think I just lost the Zoom, completely lost the Zoom screen. Oh my God. I am okay. You are okay. We're going to go back in. Okay. This is like my worst nightmare when I can't figure out my tech, and I'm showing you my whole desktop. Watch my channel from before I upgrade to my MacBook Pro and notice it's never was a problem. All right, Taurus. And finally, I want to mention this. I was talking about you might be moving your neighborhood. You might be getting a new job opportunity off of this. Quaoar, do it differently. Don't get the same old, same old. If it's a new job, change it up. If you want to, by the way, take this and travel. The moon is a very good traveler. She rules the fourth house. I mean, she rules the idea of the phasal quality of life. And she's, connected to travel opportunities as well. So you might find yourself wanting to go on a pilgrimage, a long distance travel opportunity in the 6 months that follow. And maybe you were thinking of those things back in late June into July. You wanted to seed plant for that, but nothing really got off the ground. And here we go. That's a nice axis for long distance, far off land, foreign travel, or even domestic travel, if you ask me. So I would say that could be a 2 thumbs up as well. Breaking the rules and doing it differently. If everybody goes on the Camino and they, do it a certain way, then take cabs like I did. Like walk, why walk? It's too much work. Take a cab, So you can find you want to break rules in any way you do anything to do with travel. I like this for a lot of you to say, I think some of you, if you're looking for a new career path or some shifts in your work or more prosperity or more alignment with the work you do, so you feel at one with it or attuned to it, this is going to open up those doors of attunement and it's going to move you towards the opportunities for better employment or better work, or even you could even be thinking of starting your own company, doing entrepreneurial business. Mercury rules entrepreneurial stuff, and he's here with this moon being reflected up here. So I think you're going to have some new entrepreneurial ideas. And I think it's a good idea to go there. I think if you want to create your own business off of this, within reason, you better know what you're doing, right? You could create your own independent business. So your message from the oracle is to do what feels right for you above all else, Taurus. It's impossible to please all parties in any situation, especially at the present time. You have responsibility only for your own life and for your own actions, and others must take responsibility for themselves. And the card is called responsibility. I find that fascinating because Mars is the ruler of your house of significant others and Mercury of your children, and they're all up there. And this moon is taking its own action with lucky Jupiter. Hi, Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. Holy man, I really do like this lunation in your 12th, second house. It's all about money, resources, finance, prosperity. You planted a seed here last third week of June and through to mid-July. You were organizing some kind of intention around money, earnings and resources, pocketbook, wallet, all of that. And by the way, it was squaring Saturn up here. And so it might have felt like grand ambitions financially failed to quite pay off the way you thought. You had some delusions or illusions about it all. I can so relate to that in so many ways. Sometimes I think I have bigger visions than I bite off more visionary power than I can chew. But all said and done, you also have the ability to make some financial gains from your career realistic and yet also profitable in the next 6 months off of this moon. And this moon is planting the seed in the house of your dietary habits and styles. The moon loves her comforts, her comfort foods. Can anyone say nachos? I think I'm going to make nachos for dinner. Cheesy nachos for dinner. Can anybody say nachos? With jalapeno peppers on it? That's my dream food for comfort. You're going to open up a door here of finding food that brings you comfort, that also brings you health, another Jupiter signature. Healthy comfort food, healthy food that's good for you, all of that. You might even find that, though, with Jupiter here, he's exalted, like he's got superpowered energy, and he is the ruler of the career space as well as the audience marketplace and clients. You might start attracting more wealthy clients, more significant audience members, more powerful energy is flowing up to your career where you're going to increase your career success as well. And Jupiter means more. And this is the house of speech, and you can't make this stuff up. I just got approached by a guy when I went to see who was on my waiting room, who said, would you be interested in me putting you on 50 podcasts in the next 6 months? That's the kind of thing I should have been doing last year. And the answer is yes, I will be interested in it because I'm a progressed Gemini sun. Finally, if you've been struggling with money, this is lucky, okay? You cannot talk about it any other way. Sirius brings the dog star luck. It brings good things. It brings independent wealth. It can bring business success. So this is a nice turning point regarding any concern about money. Do it differently. A Quaoar is up there with the banking, the finances, the loans, the mortgage, the investment capital, the royalty money, the ad income. Do it differently. Find a new way. Break the rules. Do it your own way. And Venus says, refine the way you make money. Consider the long game and do it differently. Okay. I just started running some YouTube ads for the first time in my life. That's an example, right? Find new ways, do it differently, break some rules, and all of that. All said and done, it's a lucky money moon for you. And I'll be doing a set of videos on the love scopes and the money scopes for all signs. And we'll dive more deeply into that for your sign. Stay tuned for those videos in the first week of January. Oops. And the draw of the spirit cards for you, Spirit Oracle deck, is positive outcome. I'm not going to stop this. I'm not going to show you me in a big picture because it takes too much time. There is hope. Don't give up. Have faith. Trust. The forces of love are at work behind the scenes. Expect a joyous and positive outcome in your money story. Okay. Otherwise, in your comfort food story. Alrighty, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Well, it is about you and other people. The full moon, though, is all for your own enjoyment because it is the comfort of being you. And the moon is saying your mind and your feelings and your thoughts are very important now. And Jupiter says to feel happy, faith, hope, optimism, and joy. Okay, happiness in the deepest, truest sense is available off this lunation on January 3rd. It is from a seed you tried to plant back at the end of June, but also into mid-July, but with a square to Saturn, finding that joy, that faith, that optimism, that sense that all is right in your inner world might have been not as easy as you had hoped. You might have found like, it's a great idea. Someone tell me what the instruction book is. And yet now you can open into that less worry, more spaciousness, more abundance, more magnanimous, more generous energy that you're capable of expressing in the world, especially as Jupiter will go direct in March, early March, and help you even expand further than you could imagine. Now, this moon is also connected to Sirius, a most powerful and success-oriented star in the heavens. And I read about it in the intro. Go back and watch. And this energy is such a luscious place, especially Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Elon Musk has his ascendant here, okay? With an ascendant between 12 and 16 degrees of Cancer, holy moly, do you ever get a lot of love from this startup, a new energy of Jupiter blessing you. Because it's a moon that reflects the audience, the marketplace, the clients, and maybe even your spouse or business partner, you might also notice that you have a tendance towards their needs or their concerns or your children, because Mars rules your children. Yet things are easier for them, for you. There's easier flow with you and a significant other, you and a child. You and your customers, marketplace, audience, or public, and something good is trying to happen. Certainly could be good for a business deal, a new contract agreement or alliance with a business partner for sure. You want to do it differently. What does that actually mean? Well, it means that Quaoar says something is being reflected by the moon in doing it differently outside the box in new ways, never seen before by you, in how you relate to other people, particularly a spouse, but maybe in this case, your children or your siblings, thanks to Mercury and Mars's rulership of those houses. So new ways of relating. All said and done, you are going to feel extremely magnanimous. And ultimately, it translates to career success as both Neptune and Saturn will be entering into your 10th house. It's almost like limitless, unstoppable optimism about your career. Hang on. About your career, about your livelihood, about your purpose, about your work, about your health, about your job. And those things want to bubble forth in the most auspicious and fortunate way over the next 6 months. Look for evidence of this new energy change, this new way of being felt by you January the 3rd through to about the end of the month. You should see evidence for this playing out. So I'm wishing you the very best with this super auspicious lunation. Excuse moi. Let me draw a card for you at this time. Are you ready? Let's roll. Ancient, the key word is sacred knowledge. Well, that's Jupiter. He is knowledge and wisdom and truth. Sacred, and he's in your sign. Just absorb it, right? Ancient sacred knowledge is waiting within the heart of the earth, yearning to be discovered. Connect energetically. Crystals hold the key. Healing, love, and abundance result. Okay. Well, if you're going to get some crystal love going on, you can do that too. Venus is the ruler of the 4th house of things that come out of the earth. Go get some beautiful crystal jewelry or some crystals of vases or crystal stones and stick them around your house. And, you know, if you were single, I should have said this. I apologize. Okay. Are you a single Cancer? Jupiter can bring you an amazing new love story because of his conversation with Venus. I wouldn't expect it to be a love story that you're aware of until mid-February when Venus becomes visible, or at least early to mid-February. But this could be seeding, fulfilling a new love story. And maybe you thought you wanted one, by the way, in June and July, but it didn't happen, right? Nothing manifested there. Did I mention you could move your home? And you can even move your home off of this because Venus is being reflected back by the moon, and she rules your home as well. So a luscious, bigger, more auspicious home is another story, or a new neighborhood or a new city. Lots going on here. Big deal for you guys. All right, Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Let's roll. Drum roll, please. I've got to get walking and moving out there before it's dark. This is 3:13 in the afternoon in Vancouver, Canada. And guys, it's dark by 4 o'clock. So Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Big luck in your 12th house. Well, it's subtle. It could be like an enlightenment blast, but it could also be an opportunity to prosper from far off lands, people, money from foreign shores and foreign lands. And by the way, with dog star Sirius, if you're spiritual, alchemical, and you want to sort of dive into the occult mysteries or spirituality or spiritual awakening energy, Sirius is a star that has a lot of mystical stuff. So you could do that as well. Could open up the doors of mystical perception. You might find a guru, a teacher, or someone who you want to learn from here, a shaman even. And it could be the moon is going to provoke or open the doors for that new learning direction. Because this lunation was planting a seed back in June, in late June into early July, mid-July, things happened that didn't quite get fulfilled due to a square to Saturn. You didn't quite get what you were trying to get happen. This time, that's not a problem. Saturn is trining from the 8th house. I'd say not an aspectual connection, really, but trining. I'd say that you have a kind of like, okay, I want to do my work and my health routines in a different way. I want to break the rules. I want to find a new system. I want to do it in a way that's never been done before, Quaoar. And I want to also enjoy my work, and I want it to be refined, and I want to work over the long haul, and I want to be liking whom I work with, and I want to work with people that I like to work with. And you want to be passionate, and you want to be in the house of your joy, says Mars, determined to find success. A lot of you might find this is definitely going to change your livelihood direction. And some of you may want to go to school or learn or study under someone in order to achieve that, even to the point that some of you may have a propulsion from this lunation to begin to investigate the possibility of going back to school, going into education, or if you're young, to school for the first time, to higher education. Jupiter is blessing solitude, like your alone time brings fortune to you and good things. Because Mars is involved by opposition, this could also mean a fulfillment of a desire to change your home to another country, a distant shore, or a far off place. Because Venus is involved, it could even just be changing your home to a different neighborhood, or a larger home. So there's some potential real estate and home changes, as well as an ability to finance those changes thanks to Saturn. And so some of you might be going in that lucky direction as well. And you can benefit directly from a sibling, one older than you financially, or even one younger than you, as this story is unfolding in the 6 months that follows this moon. Let's draw a card for Leo and let's give you just a gist of it. We have infinity. Rest within the light of your soul, Leo. Feel my spirit alive within you, the spirit of the goddess of nature, the earth and the stars, and accept the love and light that we shower upon you. Why the heck not? This is the 12th house of dreams at night, past lives, archangels, and talking to the dead over here. You got a very mystical moksha going on in the sky right now. And a Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. You are going to experience the most lucky moon of the year. I hope you listened to the intro, dog star Sirius. And it is going to be in the house of windfalls and pennies from heaven. So at the very best, Jupiter here can indicate a windfall is wanting to arrive. It may not show up right away because he's retrograde. Maybe it'll show up closer to March, but you could come into some money. I'm going to call it as I see it. Downside, inheritance money, family of origin and legacy wealth. Upside, any kind of winning money, particularly with Venus in her joy in the house of good fortune, where people speculate, gamble, win lottery tickets, and win money. So you might be coming into a financial win. Now, don't go overboard and hit the casino on the daily because of an astrologer like me. That's ridiculous. But just know you might feel very lucky with money January the 3rd. Evidence for that could show up by the end of January, and you might even feel it into, the next 6 months. I love the idea that you want to also look at entrepreneurial and creative energies and do it differently. How different? You could set up a kind of entrepreneurial business that no one's ever seen before. You could create something outside the box and do super well with this. And I want to mention that, Venus here is pregnancy and fertility. So you could be finding that you or your children, so this could be a hallmark of finding out you're going to be a grandparent in the wake of this full moon, or that you are going to be a parent or your partner is. So watch out for that. Hopefully that doesn't bother you and it's something you want. There's a kind of like a creative, joyful, inspired, enthusiastic stellium building here, right? It's going to be very important because I'm doing videos on the conjunctions of the sun with Mars and Venus. But it's a vibe, and the moon is reflecting the whole thing. So a lot of this could look like also much greater prosperity in an employed career path. And the reason I say that is Mercury is here and he rules the 10th house of visible career. And most often the 10th house looks like, for a lot of people, working for a company or a corporation. And this means pay raises, promotions, extensions, expansion, bigger roles, more responsibility, more power in the workspace, but more money as well. So there's an uplift financially here, but some of you might be doing something different than what you currently do, right? I mean, Venus rules your income. You might be changing the job, the structure, the place you work, or the career path that you followed, but it's going to bring you more prosperity in the next 6 months. And some of this brings some luck because of a relocation to a new home in a different neighborhood. That's in the sky for you as well. And potentially a change of home connected to a significant long-term love relationship as well. Oh, single, this could bring you a very profound and exciting new love story that you would meet through somebody connected to friendship groups, friendship circles, going to events with large groups of people, and maybe finding yourself suddenly in possession of a very exciting and very stable and lasting long-term love relationship if you're single in the months that follow this moon. Oh, we got to draw a card for you, Virgo. So from this oracle deck called Spirit Oracle, your message is balance. You guys work way too hard. Balanced. All is perfect just the way it is. Own and acknowledge every part of you, and you will find balance, the balance you are seeking. Okay, so it's about balance. Doesn't look too balanced, does it? Because we got a teeter-totter here. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. The best, most beautiful moon of 2026 is lighting up your career space. Think no further than I am a successful public person. I am either a successful public figure, I'm a successful in my career, I'm a successful in my reputation. Things I wish to do that I call achievement and accomplishment professionally are on steroids going your way. I think Jupiter retrograde, though, may show the best results after early March, but nonetheless, the results are baked into this moon. You might find yourself going back to a company or a job you've done before, but making more money at it. Now, Jupiter in the 10th house, he is the ruler of your 6th house of work and livelihood and exalts your 10th house. So you might have planted seeds around career changes back in late June into July and hoped they were all going to work out. Might have felt a little bit difficult. Maybe you found you're working way too hard because of the square to Saturn. Now you can have more ease and flow and prosperity and success and joy in the work environment. However, as I look at Jupiter looking down at the stellium in the 4th house, I think you might be also moving your home in the few months ahead. And Mars loves to move from home when he's doing what he's doing down here. And it could even be because you have Venus, a beautiful home, a refined home, a pretty home. It could be rental properties. Jupiter rules rentals. You might also notice that you have a way to want to do something different, not just in your career, but in the way you like work and live and be in your home. Quaoar, to do something creative, like a creation god in your home, or to create a new career path in and from your home in a way that you or no one you know has done before. And Venus is participating in that, and the moon's reflecting that energy as well. And if you're going to move into a new home or change your home, which I can see under the sky, to a new neighborhood, new town, a new city, that could also lead in the longer run to a new relationship in your life if you're single, okay? Or if you are going to change your home, it may be already connected to an existing relationship of some sort. So we have all kinds of angles on the dangle there for you. Alrighty, let's go ahead and draw a card. I love this for career and work and money, but also maybe a move. Let's take a look. Think bigger than you think, larger than life. Think, dare to dream something big for yourself, right? Because it is big, right? All right. So your message with this kind of lunation is to reflect upon and bless all the wondrous times in your life. Give thanks for the many blessings that you receive every day. Well, Jupiter says be thankful. Gratitude, attitude. And you can connect energetically to those you love by simply feeling them in your heart. Life is beautiful. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising, big full moon, very beautiful in your 9th house. To me, it looks like you're going to be very successful in 9th house matters. For one, if you don't have grandchildren could be coming. Lots of them, bigger than more the merrier, okay? Sirius, the dog star, super success in foreign land travel, book publishing, podcasting, traveling the world, court and legal matters, successful outcomes, luscious bigness. The judge loves you or something like that. Traveling the world, adventuring about. When within 6 months of the lunation, for example, visas and passports finally working out. Things to do with Jupiter up here. Okay, well, first of all, Jupiter rules your house of pregnancy and fertility. So again, are you having children? Are your kids having kids? Somebody could have kids in this thing. It can be very fertile, especially once Saturn leaves your 5th house, which is kind of like I don't know if it's a chastity belt or a fertility belt, like keeping you from making babies. But once Saturn leaves your 5th house around Valentine's Day, well, then watch for baby making. If you and your partner are trying, it'll happen easily. And Jupiter is promising fertility as well as positive experiences in childbirth for the females who are trying to get pregnant. Now, Jupiter is reflecting a lot of energy over here. He's reflecting Venus, the goddess of sperm and ovum. There's your fertility. He's reflecting, Quaoar, to do something in a new way. And all of this axis of 3 and 9 is travel. So there's a lot of travel coming off this moon. And perhaps you tried to do that. You planted a travel seed back in late June and July, especially to international, but, even domestic travel. And there was all kinds of issues that got in the way, or things felt difficult and hard, and you could, maybe work was too busy and you couldn't make it happen. Travel doors are opening here. I do want to mention that if Mercury is involved in anything, he's going to try his best to translate it to his own part of the sky. Like, let me move some luck over there. It could also increase your career gains if you're going to change your work. Okay. And if you're changing your work, it looks to me like it could involve an international company, foreign places, or foreign people. And that would increase some prosperity or gains of your career. It could be that what Mars is, especially Venus and Mercury, both could bring you. There's more ways, 100 ways to Sunday, that you're looking like foreign companies, foreign people, or foreign places may be involved in career expansion and prosperity. And Mars even says, let's change our job to another city and another location and all of that. Finally, it's possible after this moon that some of you might want to not just travel quite extensively, but also move your property to a new place, but only if it's likely a rental property. That is a new rental option, new rental property opportunity could come off of this as well. And I think a lot of you might be healing some kind of ennui about your career path. You're not really on path for what you want. And this could open up new doors of opportunity that put you into a better path of purpose and meaning in your career. Your card is, there are no obstacles in your way, dear Scorpios. Follow your heart, and the path is safe, and the way ahead is clear. Have faith. Where is Jupiter? In the house of faith. What is Jupiter? The planet of wisdom, truth, and knowledge. Yes, this is like almost Jupiter on a pulpit. Have faith, but also maybe travel quite a bit. That looks like a lot of fun. Alrighty, it's getting dark. Gonna roll out of here. Let's go Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Jupiter, the lord of your sign, is moving into a beautiful best full moon of 2026. Mr. Luck and Plenty is on top of the moon in your house of chunky money. If you're not learning occult mysteries and diving down the rabbit hole of the paranormal, then you are probably getting richer because of this. This is a moon that opens up the gates of financial abundance, especially on the dog star Sirius, in the house of things that may be inheritances or bank loans or mortgages or money from your in-laws or your spousal monies, shared resources increasing. Money from property, land sale, okay, or purchase availability to have enough money to buy a new home. All of this coming off of this lunation in the 8th house. Good for refinancing mortgage, banks, and loans, and also maybe even bounteous good news for stock investments, but be careful. Of course, Saturn says stay conservative and move towards the blue chip. Now, with all the stellium in your second house, there's a lot going on here because this puts you squarely on a money axis with Venus in a place she loves, the money house. So there's something going on financially for most Sagittarius. It looks really, really good on you. I like it a lot for money. Basically, Jupiter might want to translate this bounty as to a hot property, home, or sale, or legacy wealth. I already mentioned that. But also you might notice with Venus in your second house, being reflected back by the moon and Quaoar, you want to do money in a new way. And it can open up some windfalls or pennies from heaven, or just feeling like the new way you're doing money. It feels like it's raining down from heaven all over your head. When Venus rules your 11th house of those matters. Could open up with Mercury's help a new job, and Venus and Mercury both could say the moon wants to reflect a new livelihood or new professional direction that can really lush up your chunky money, not your paycheck per se, but your investment money, sign-on bonus, royalty income, derivative monies, ad money from Google, that kind of thing. So you're getting a money glow up. All right. It may feel like you're going to count your blessings after this. And, maybe you tried to make some changes to your finances on the new moon, late June into July, but nothing was really happening. Nothing was really gelling. I can also mention, you could possess a rental property as well as purchase one off of the sky because of the way the planets line up. So don't limit yourself to one or the other, but it's so auspicious. And I do want to mention here as well that if you've been struggling with anything to do with money, find the joy in making it, because that's what Venus wants you to do. And I drew the joy card. Kuan Yin, love and compassion, a time of healing. You're being showered with love and light. Accept the gift. A newfound joy for life will replace sadness. Well, I'd say a newfound joy for the way you create money in your life more truly. All right, Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising, big, full, lucky moon in the marriage house. Now, lots to say about that. First of all, it's not always just about marriage. Sometimes it's about business partnerships. Sometimes it's about people who come to you, like, or the people in your public, should you serve a public. But they could be the rich people, right, coming to you, or wealthy or influential or leaderful people in your public or business and business endeavors and partnerships. But if you're not doing business partnerships, and by the way, also from foreign lands and foreign shores, also bounty from a sibling 3 older or 3 younger coming your way off of this moon. This moon also can open up marriage opportunities for you. Now, this is a bit tricky because with a Jupiter retrograde, it could be reuniting with a former marriage partner, long-term partner, or with Jupiter here, it could be delays in new relationships through till March 11th. And after that, you get the new relationship coming your way. Because Uranus is in the house of romantic love, it could be outside the box in an unusual kind of way of doing relationship, or it may be very swift and fast moving, if not shocking and surprising, how this all unfolds in unusual and exciting ways. With Jupiter here, he is the ruler of your 3rd house of travel and local neighborhood. And you might travel for love. You might travel to new neighborhoods and meet somebody. You might move your home to a new city or town or area in your country, and that leads you to a new relationship as well. You'll notice as well that we connect the stellium that you're holding in your space of your sun, moon, and rising Capricorn. You're really busy, aren't you? So if it's your sun, it's about career purpose and the deep essential nature of who you are. Capricorn moon, your emotions, your mind, your feelings about things, but also, and thoughts, but also your home base matters. And you Capricorn rising, anything about your simulation character is infused with a stellium. They're all invisible. They're all under the sun's beams, but they're still with you. So you might be looking at things through the lens of Venus, which is the goddess of love, the goddess of what we prefer because it brings us a pleasure, and what we desire because it's pleasurable. And it's possible because you see everything through Venus's lens right now, and Mars is asking you to make some decisions. You might be making decisions to do with a pleasurable home, a better home, a rental home. That's Mercury. You might be also making some choices and decisions, whether you're aware of it yet or not, because Venus won't be visible till February, about livelihood, job, and Mercury says work. So there's things that are percolating here, and all of that's being reflected in the 7th house where opportunity lies and luck lies. Jupiter rules legal contracts, and the 7th house is legal contracts. So again, if you're going to get any kind of career gains, work environment, new beginnings, and that's possible, being hired or contracted for this work will be something that's available to you as the 6 months unfolds from this moon. However, you might see evidence for it within 2 to 3 weeks after. So by the end of January into early February, some of these themes may have played out. Certainly, if you're in a relationship already and Jupiter is going through your 7th house retrograde, he's testing it. He's double checking the tires. He's looking at the foundation of the house. Is it cracked? He's doing a home inspection. So it doesn't mean that this is going to be bad for your existing relationship. He's retrograde, but it could also have you reframing a relationship that's already existing and then looking for what's good in it, like finding the good, right, in the other person or in the relationship so that you can then fulfill something, right? So fulfillment can be an ending or it can be a furthering of something on a full moon. So it's up to you to see what happens here. Could go either way. Those of you in relationships, something that you have could be closing out. Something you don't have could be coming. Something you had before could be coming back. All right. Those are the themes I'm seeing for you. I'll draw a card for you from this particular deck called the Spirit Oracle. And the card is Angel Over Me. You have a protection card. Angel wings surround you, Capricorn. Trust. Replace any fear with love. You are eternally held safe within the arms of an angel. The arms of an angel. Okay, well, I don't know. Take it or leave it. Jupiter does rule all things protective. And he's looking right at you. All righty. All right, Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. This is a tough deck to match up to the astrology, so I'm not sure I'll be using this one again. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. I am one of you. Big full moon, big Jupiter light in our sixth house. Holy man, this is good for our health. If you have a health problem, Jupiter finds a solution. If you have a health problem, Jupiter is going to bless you with good outcomes. So there's that. Now we have a full moon, which is fulfilling health improvements that we might have tried to plant as seeds back in June, July of last year, late June into July. Now we can get the full for fruitfulness. Last time we tried to plant seeds, and yet we had a square to Saturn, making it more difficult. Now this is your work and livelihood, job, career, pets, and tenancy rentals agreements. Jupiter can bring you a better rental agreement, especially because even though he brought you a rental agreement last June and I didn't move into my new noisy place, he was squaring Saturn for constraint and constriction. Now he's not doing that anymore. So a bigger, better, more fancy rental in the 6 months that follows this moon with lucky outcomes is available to all Aquarians thinking to move her home, rent a home, or rent your current property out to a tenant. And those are auspicious and luscious outcomes. And it may happen swiftly, excitedly, with no expectation that you were going to do that, because Venus rules the house of your home and she's witnessing and talking to the moon as the moon becomes full. You might notice that with Jupiter here, the situation could call you to want to get a pet. In this case, it would be a large animal. And you might be thinking about that, and it may be coming into passing, like you may find the opportunity for a pet emerges in the months that follow this moon. And maybe the first month you see evidence of what is possible. This moon is reflecting you want to do something in a way that's different, that's never been done before. It's maybe involving money that you earn from distant shores, foreign lands, foreign companies, or you work in another country and make money while you're there. And that's because of the stellium in the 12th house with Quaoar, and Venus is a goddess of money, Mercury, marketing and sales, and payment processors, and the Mars, passion, drive, and ambition that's exalted. All of this energy is being reflected in the house of work. Mercury rules your chunky money house, making changes to how you make money, how you invest money, how you set up tax structures as well. Venus might translate with the moon's help. Foreign companies, foreign people, foreign lands. The word foreign becomes extremely powerful, or distant lands and shores in this sky. Just know that. Also can open up livelihood opportunities connected to creative solitude and writing and book publishing. Both of those are very, very highlighted. Now I've got 3 books I should be writing at this time. So as a Gemini, Aquarius rising, I'm relating to next year, the 6 months, January 3rd at 6 months, giving me the time to write, to spend some time in creative solitude, and maybe in another country. Any one of you Aquariuses who want to get out of your own country and go do some creative work, or conduct a business in a different land from, home, like a digital nomad or something. All of this is a screaming yes, right? It definitely stabilizes your money as well. Jupiter, moon energy will be flowing to Saturn. So very good for long game, long strategies, but more enjoyment and more excitement and more pleasure and more alignment with the work you're doing in the world is what this moon is going to try to bring you. All right. And your card is a place beyond time. Don't get caught up with the everyday drama of life. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and allow to carry you into a peaceful space in your heart, an eternal place beyond time filled with love only. Well, of course, because this is your ashram over here. So ashram time creates bountiful career outcomes. Okay, is what I'm getting here. Or just solitude, if you don't like ashrams or, spiritual places. Finally, it's a Pisces sun, moon, and rising sign, and you're never last and never least, okay? You are going to experience a beautiful, lucky moon in a house of luck. It's a house of good fortune. I'm not going to promise you a rose garden, but could look like money that you win. I don't care if it's a casino or a lottery win, gambling or something, because this house brings that kind of money, and Jupiter is the money, and the moon is telling Jupiter how to do it, and Sirius is a lucky dog star here. Can bring you a financial windfall because you have a windfall stellium in your 11th. Because the stellium's invisible, I would suggest that if a windfall is coming off the moon on January 3rd, it may not be available until Venus, the money goddess, is visible in the sky in February, or even Mars is visible in March, but it may be planting the fulfillment seed of windfalls. Did you think about maybe wanting to have a windfall? Did you try windfall lottery tickets back in late June into July and nothing panned out? Now it could happen. Now, with Mercury being the ruler of your seventh house, windfalls and significant long-term relationship partnerships, windfalls from your in-laws or your spousal relationship, thank you, Venus, ruler of the eighth house, are possible here as well. Certainly, I could also add to the mix that Mercury is quite capable of opening up doors of opportunity connected to financial gain. That says you could get financial success that feels like a windfall from the sale of a property or from a sibling that is 3 younger or 3 older than you. You might also notice that you have the opportunity here for a kind of rehoming of yourself. And Mercury is being reflected by the moon in the gains of the fourth. It's possible that there may be something about a move, but it would probably require a sale of some kind of asset in your life, a property most likely, and then a possible relocation. The South Node is still going through your seventh house. We're not going to talk about that today. I didn't want to complicate this moon, but there may be some destined, fated endings and long-term committed love relationships going on the side. And this can also bring you what feels like a windfall from spousal separation, divorce assets. You are very equipped with the moon and Jupiter and also Sirius to start an entrepreneurial consulting business or any kind of business of your own, or if you already have one, for any entrepreneurial business to take the hell off, especially if you're using the online world, thanks to the fact that Venus rules that wealth star, Algol, Uranus, shocking surprises in the digital media online world. So any of you Pisces who want to create an online business or already have one, you're going to see it fruit out into much more success. Maybe you tried to get it going like June and July and nothing really happened. And now you can go kaboom. Great success for those of you who are creative and artistic as writers in writing and publishing industries coming off this 6 months as well. I don't see a downside to Jupiter conjunct the moon in the house of good fortune. If you watch the intro, this kind of moon could have come to you in, between June of 13 and July of 2014, or July of 2001 and August of 2002, but maybe not exactly on that dog star. It's certainly not with the Capricorn stellium in the house of windfalls and pennies from heaven. Jupiter rules your career house, but this looks very entrepreneurial to me. I don't think you're getting employed. I think you make your own luck happen and your own career gains are successful. Sure, I guess I could try to translate it to getting a job, but it's not the most obvious translation of this energy. Your children are fertile and abundant, and one of your children may have a baby, or if you're of the baby-making age, you or your partner could become pregnant off of this story as well, Pisces. And that's what I got for you. I hope that is useful and helpful, and we're going to finish up before the night sky comes in. Here I am. It's like 4. It's going to be dark in 15 minutes. It's almost like 10 minutes to 4. It's going to be pitch black here. I'm going to walk all the way down to the Whole Foods, which is 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. Get this body moving. Don't forget, hit the like button. Subscribe. Check everything about me in the description box below. Get the all signs bundle or your individual signs on the sale price in December. I might extend it to January. I get so much feedback from so many people who are struggling financially, in my clients, in my comments and stuff. Guys, I hear you. Canadians are not doing much better than Americans. I don't know how you Europeans are doing. Unless you're in the top 1%, which I'm not, then money and costs of living and all of that are like off the rails, right? All right, take care, guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next videos. Bye-bye.